Welcome once again to the channel. Today we take a look at possible deck combination. Sorry for the late running of the video. However, yesterday I was kind of busy, so I decided to do it today. So I've got several combinations that I am going to showcase today. This is one of them. And this one uses none other than Circuit Breaker Ilaria. Now this card is going to be one of the most important cards to this week's deck, simply because of its battle skill. It increases Arcane Killer's attack by 200% plus an additional 10% for every 20 Arcane Killer intensity. Now that Arcane Killer intensity is quite important, and I'm going to show you why a bit later. It increases it up to a maximum of 565% unless you've got 8 or more power gem ones on the board or power gems of higher level. It will increase it by 10. So if you've got the full amount of intensity and you get up to your 565%, it will multiply that by 10 times, which gives you 5,650. If you've got the minimum amount, which is less than 20 Arcane Killer intensity, you will get your flat 200, and that will be multiplied by 10 if you've got 8 or more power gem 1s or higher on the board. So that will give you 2,000. Okay, this card also produces 3 power gem 4s. It creates 4 power gem freeze. I've got it the wrong way around the first time. 4 power gem freeze every 3 turns. So you get those 4 power gem freeze on turn 0. The next card up is Culinary Kings. This one is really important to the deck because it creates 6 power gem 6s and it upgrades all power gem on the board to 2 level higher. That's the thing that we're looking for from this card. This card, even though it's a Slayer card, is not going to be one of your main damage dealers. It will give you a bit of damage, but not the level of damage that we require to take the bosses out. Your main damage dealer would be this card, Prime Bovines, and the next one up will be this one, Ox King. Those will be your two main damage dealers, unless you put in the ultra rare instead of the Ox King, or you've got the Ox King and the ultra rare on board. However, this combination I've put on this card, which is Honor Roll Luminaries, and it's simply because this card creates 7 power gem 5s and it doubles the amount of power gems that it creates when it's ambushing, so it can create up to 14 power gem 5s, which helps out a bit. It's not going to be one of the main damage dealer either, but it does generate a lot. This one generates a lot more damage than the Culinary Kings. Culinary Kings is Stooping Star, this one is Stooping Star, but this one generates just a bit more damage than Culinary Kings. This is the combination that I'm running. This is one that I like the most, and this one uses the ultra rare, the Master Collection card, and the Ultimate Form as the main damage dealer, alongside Culinary Kings and Circuit Breaker Ilaria. Now this is a non-event combination, so if you've got the cards, this is a combination that you can use. It's not gonna be a deck that's gonna generate a lot of damage. The current deck will generate far more damage simply because it's got the 15-time bonus on your Ultimate Form, your 10-time bonus on your 13-time bonus on your Ultra Rare and your Master Collection card. You're in the event, so they're gonna generate far more power than say this deck. Now this deck is running again Circuit Breaker Ilaria, Culinary Kings to upgrade your power gems to 2 rank higher, Bonafide Brawlers, Street Racing Frankie, and I've got 2 copies of Street Racing Frankie, which is the Master Collection card for the Bonafide Brawlers deck. Now these ones generate power gems of lower rank, so this one will heal for 15,000% of heroes recovery. It will increase Arcane Killer's intensity. It increases Arcane Killer attack by 180%, which is not a massive amount, but it does help. It creates 6 power gem 4s. It creates 1 extra per 100 Arcane Killer intensity. It creates 3 fire gems at the start of every turn. This one increases Arcane Killer's intensity. Each time you, I think it's each time you attack, it increases Arcane Killer intensity. Can't remember, but it's an older version. It's more than a year old. Street Racing Frankie increases Arcane Killer attack as well by 140%. It creates 4 power gem 4s, and it creates 1 additional for every 100 Arcane Killer intensity. It also generates 3 fire gems on the start of every turn. And this one does the same because it's basically just the ordinary Master Collection card, while the previous one was the Shiny Master Collection card. This is the oldest of the 3 deck. I would not recommend this one unless you haven't got anything else. I would say use this one. And this one has got Impale Hunter, it's got Unbounded Marionette, and I've got 2 copies of Unbounded Marionette, which is the Master Collection card. I'm not running the Ultra Rare simply because the Ultra Rare has got similar battle skill as Impale Hunter, where it applies Mystic Maw up to 3 Slayer heroes, and it starts with 1 and it increases to 3 increases by 1 every 150 skill points that you've got. So it doesn't generate a lot of power gem on turn 0, so it's not gonna be one of the decks that you want to use. It takes 3 turns before you can actually use this deck because you have to be hit by the boss, and we get hit in Slayer events every 2 turns. So it's not one of the decks that I would recommend unless you haven't got anything else. Again, this one is a Arcane Killer deck, so you can add Circuit Breaker area and use Culinary Kings to upgrade your power gems. It's not gonna generate a lot of power either. This one works okay. It is powerful, but it takes a while to get going. 3 turns, then you can activate all your cards. You will get a decent bang from it because you have actually got the jailers on board. So that one does work really well if you're able to get up to the 3 turns to activate the jailers. Now this one, again, you have to be hit simply because you're using this card, Perceptive Guru, and you're primarily reliant on your Immortal Killer cards, which this one is one, Honor Roll Luminaries, and another one is Blitzkrieg Base. Now the next deck up is basically the same combination with the difference of 1 card, which is this one, High Performance Unit Area. Again, you're relying on Blitzkrieg Base and Honor Roll Luminaries for your main damage. You're gonna go straight in. I'm gonna lock the bosses. So for those of you who aren't sure how to lock the bosses, you just use 1 key, go in, come straight out without doing any damage, and you can lock the boss that way. Now, after I've locked all 3 bosses, I'm gonna attack all 3 bosses, and I'm going to use the last 3 deck that I just spoke about. So first up, we are going to use the one with none other than Circuit Breaker area. So we have to power up Circuit Breaker area. So to do that, we're actually running 2 Immortal Killer relics just to get some gems on the board to power up Circuit Breaker area. I'm gonna jump straight in with 3 keys. Once we got Circuit Break Illyria's battle skill powered up, we have to activate it the turn before we get hit, and that will basically give us the status. So we have powered up Circuit Break Illyria. We're going to activate her on this turn because we know on the next turn we're going to be hit. So you can see she's producing gems and power gems on the board, and we just need to try and overwrite those. So once we activate all our other cards, Honor Roll Luminaires will take care of that. Then you get Big Scrape Beaks kicking in. Swap your power gems and just look at the damage on Blitzcrank Beast and Honor Roll Luminaires. As you can see, we've got 1.1 quadrillion for Blitzcrank Beast. Luminaires is over 900 trillion, which is quite good. So let's look at the total damage dealt by the deck. The total damage dealt by the deck is just over 2 quadrillion. So you can see that deck is quite powerful, but it does take some time. It's not a turn 0 deck, it's a 3-turn deck. So the next one up is this one, is another 3-turn deck, and we're gonna see what this one is actually capable of. So this one, you can use all fire relics. You don't need anything but fire relics. Once you get your cards powered up, you have to wait to be hit by the boss, which is on turn 2. So we're gonna be hit the next turn, and then we're gonna gain our status and get that 1200% extra attack boost. So we'll just activate everything from right to left. And then we swap our power gems, and we've got the status, which is that little shield thing between the two helmets. And the damage is 684 trillion. There you go. So the good thing about this combination is that, let's have a look at it. You've got 3 cards that's got that that status. Now, well, 2 cards which have got the status. This card has got the bonus attack status, the bonus attack, and this does it once, this does it twice. So there's the bonus attack. So this card, Honored Roll Luminaires, have got the bonus attack, and it deals exactly 100% of the main attack. And I think this one does it twice, and this one does it once. So that one is quite nice as well. Let's get straight back into the fight and look at the next one up, which is a combination of fire and earth. And we're actually running just 2 fire relics and 3 arcane relics just to get enough earth gems on the board to power up the jailers. Once you have powered up the jailers, you can then go ahead and activate its battle skill. You don't have to wait to be hit with the jailers. You just need to power up the jailers. That's all you actually need to do. So we've powered up the jailers. So we're just going to activate the jailers and then everything else afterwards. Or you can wait to be hit by the boss to get the attack bonus. And you can see we got less fire power gems on the board. So the damage is not going to be as high, simply because I need to take out the bonafide brawlers. So you got 1.8 quadrillion and 9.6. You got 960 trillion from the Ox Kings, and this one dealt over 3 quadrillion. So this one is actually really powerful. Really, really powerful. That one was simply powerful. Far more powerful than the one using this one. It's far more powerful than Circuit Breaker Hilaria's combo. It's a bit quicker than Circuit Breaker Hilaria because you don't have to wait to be hit. So this one can be a 2-turn deck as long as you get the jailers powered up. You can just go ahead and activate all your battle skills. However, with say this one, you have to wait to be hit, so it's going to be a 3-turn deck. This one you have to wait to be hit, so this one is going to be a 3-turn deck. This one, as long as you've got the jailers powered up, you can go ahead and activate your battle skills if all your battle skills are powered up. Now we're going to go to the combinations for the current event deck. So this one is just a current event deck, and we're using, okay, so one other thing, this boss is almost dead, but you can actually jump straight in with 3 keys and try and get the 50% overkill. I'm using the wrong deck, and that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because it's a turn 2 deck. The boss will be dead by turn 2, so we're not gonna able to get the 50% unless the boss isn't dead. And these, there you go, so the boss is dead. And that's a simple demonstration of the weakness of this deck. It's powerful, but it's weak because it's not a turn 0 deck. You have to power up the jailers. Okay, let's see if we can get a decent. That one I'll leave for last. That one as well, because they're not really that powerful, so we won't be concentrating on those ones unless we can actually lock the boss, so we can see exactly what those cards, those decks are actually capable of. So we just activate everything from right to left. You can activate Circuit Break Ilaria before or after the Culinary Kings, because you need to have at least 8 power gems on board. So let's look at the total damage that we dealt, but we can't see anything. So our total damage was over 474 trillion, and that's with 1 key, which is quite good to use 1 key and generate that amount of damage. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. I'm going to use 3 keys on this boss, and we're going to see exactly what we can do. Now on turn 0, we have actually got 32 Arcane Killer intensity, so we are getting an extra 10% on top of our 2000, and 10% will be not really, it doesn't add a lot to the total damage output, but it does really help. So the higher you get your intensity, the more damage you're able to deal, especially if you can get your intensity up to 400 and say 50, anything between 420 450. So this is one of my bosses, so we're gonna try the non-event deck using Street Racing Frankie and Bonafide Brawlers. And with this one, we're gonna try 1 key and see the amount of damage that we can actually deal using 1 key with a non-event deck. So as long as you've got all your cards powered up, again, what you could do, you can wait on turn 3 just to get your intensity just a bit higher. So now we've got 10 an additional 10%. If we get up to turn 3, we'll have an extra 40%. Okay, so now we've got an extra 40%, because for every 20 Arcane Killer intensity you get 10%, so we've got an extra 40% added to the total attack output, which is not bad. You can see the damage, 49 trillion, so it's not as powerful as say the combination using the current deck. Wouldn't expect it to be, because the current deck does produce power gem 6s, and it does have the 15 times and the 13 times bonus. Now the worst of all, and as I said, I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got nothing else, is this one. And with this one, we're going to use 1 key. I'm going to see exactly what it's capable of. It's not capable of a lot. It's quite old. It doesn't produce power gem 6s. So what you have to do, you have to wait to be hit by the boss to actually be able to use the ultimate form, benefit from the ultimate form's battle skill. So now we're going to benefit from it, and as you can see, only 1 hero has actually got the status on it. One of the Master Collection card have actually got the status. So let's see exactly what this deck is capable of doing. Let's see the so 13 trillion, 6 trillion, 7 trillion. Not really powerful. So at one key, our current deck, the current deck is able to generate over 400 trillion. With one key, this one is just able to deal over about 20 trillion. Not really powerful, and it hasn't got a lot of health. And there you go, with one key it wasn't even able to kill a ruby boss. Not really that good. So it's one that I would not recommend unless you got absolutely no other choice. So let's jump right in with my last combination, and this is the one using Honor Roll Luminaries. With this one, my two main damage dealer are my ultimate form and my master collection card for the current deck. So if you look, full board of power gem with Honor Roll Luminaries. So we've got far more power gems on the board. However, we haven't got a lot of main damage dealers. 81 for Honor Roll Luminaries, which is not really that significant. So we're going to take the hit now, and then we're going to activate 4 out of our 5 cards because Circuit Break Hilaria has actually got a 5-turn cooldown, I think it is. Let's check. 6-turn cooldown. There you go. We've actually got, so it's far better just to use the ultra rare master collection card and ultimate form alongside Circuit Break Hilaria and the Culinary Kings. Now if I can get another boss up for myself, okay, so we're out of keys, so we can't attack any more of those. If I was able to get another boss up, I'll try and take my Arcane Intensity to run about 500. And if I did get my Arcane Intensity to run about 500, using the ultra rare, the master collection card, and the ultimate form, I can generate around about 4 quadrillion. So 2 quadrillion for the ultimate form, 1 quadrillion for the master collection card, and just over 1 quadrillion for the ultra rare. And that is quite a massive bang for your buck. However, trying to get your intensity that high, you'll have to have a boss which is yours, which you have already locked, so nobody else can actually kill it, because getting up to that amount of intensity does take quite a while. So the deck has got the potential to deal over 4 quadrillion. If you've got a 6 pink star ultimate form, you will be dealing far more damage, because with every pink star you deal a bit more damage. And if it's a Woken 5 time, you can probably deal up to 4 to 5 quadrillion using a 6 pink star ultimate form. That's a Woken 5 times, and that's powered up to max. That is what you would be able to do using the current combination. So the best combination is this one, Culinary Kings. If you haven't got Culinary Kings, you can use Master Chef. However, Master Chef doesn't produce any power gems. It only upgrades the power gems to 2 rank higher, so that will take a bit away from your total damage. Culinary Kings is the best one to use. Some people use 2 Circuit Break Hilaria. Some people use 1 Culinary King and one Master Chef. It depends which combination you want to use, but I find that this combination is the best combination so far. It works really well for me, and it's the one that I'm recommending. So that's all I've got for you today. If the information has been helpful, you can leave a comment on the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And this is Octane saying thanks for watching, peace, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.